One day closer to the weekend, we hooked up the class of 2018 with some great knowledge that we dropped on them.
That's right.
I
forgot to get to my serious stuff.
I did too, and then I accidentally deleted it. So it's gone.
I had some real heartfelt things.
I had some too.
I went all serious.
What's something?
I guess I'm no fun.
Gotta mix it up.
Mix it up a little funny and a little serious. What was do you remember your serious one, Jenna?
Yeah, because it's just something that I tell myself every single day when people are sour or being in bad moods, and I just say, remember, I stop and I breathe and I say, remember, the way someone treats you is a reflection of the way they feel about themselves. And I find myself as an adult telling myself that a lot because I'm like, why is she being so mean to me today?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, she doesn't like herself.
You also got to remember, college is just another 4 or 5 years of your life. It's not going to make or break you.
Right.
So don't,
7.
Yeah, or maybe 7. If you go Van Wilder on it, it could be 7. But it's not going to make or break you. It's what you do afterwards that will make or break you. Once you get out in the real world and how much effort you put forth. And definitely work harder early on in your life. When you're in your 20s, put all that hard work in.
Yeah.
That way in your mid-20s, you'll have your foot in the door in a company and you'll be able to get that big contract. And while your friends are struggling to find jobs, you'll already be all set and you can start partying at that point with your money.
You need to take your biggest risks when you're in your 20s.
Yes.
Because you don't typically
For real.
have the obligations. Like when I was in my 20s, I was able to pick up and on a moment's notice and move halfway across the country to start a radio gig. Where if I had had a family and, a husband to consider and his job, and then, there's just too much confusion and chaos. So take the biggest risks.
Yeah.
And just try, go for it in your 20s because you really have less to lose.
I agree.
And I didn't do this, but I wish I would have done it back when I was in my early 20s. Find a way to travel.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of money.
I know it is.
You can do it cheaply.
You can do it cheaply. You can do road trips, but find a way to travel because, like Kelly said, now I'm in the stage of my life where I have a family and kids, and I can't do that.
I'm doing it a lot now still.
Right.
I've always done it because I recognize that this is just how my life has played out, and I'm not settled down quite yet. And I've never regretted spending money, even if it made me poor for a month after.
Yeah.
I've never regretted the money I've spent taking myself all these
On a
cool
trip.
different places.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough for me to go backpack in Europe when I have kids. I can't do that now.
Yeah.
But in your early 20s.
Really, I don't even spend as much money on material things like I thought I would when I made money. I want to spend it traveling.
Right.
It's just more fruitful.
Mommy, where's Daddy?
He's
Backpacking.
He's in a hostel in Croatia.
When's Daddy coming home?
Probably never.
Yeah, Al, I'm surprised you don't travel more.
He did.
I did.
He traveled a ton.
I've traveled a ton, man.
No, but
younger.
now that he's like, no responsibilities.
Now he has no money.
Well, now I have no money, and I have a business to run, and I have no money. I'll say that one twice.
Al took risks.
Yeah.
And sometimes those risks don't pan out, but that's okay.
You don't know if you don't try,
You
man.
had a lot of adventures.
Yeah, man. My best trip was probably Brazil. I would say that was one of my favorite trips.
I was
That was
looking
by
at
yourself, right?
No, he was with buddies.
It started out going by myself, and then Andy went with me, and then he got like 6 or 7 other guys, so it ended up being like 9 guys.
That's what you have to do. You have to book it, and
Yeah.
then
Right.
other people will follow.
Yeah, right.
Hopefully.
Book it and they will follow.
Yeah.
When I was at your house, Al, you have 2 photo albums. One of them is your radio life, so it's been a lot of stuff that's been happening here on the show. And the other one was the Brazil trip.
Yeah, I mean,
And that thing looks so fun.
it was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was more fun going with a group of guys. I mean, I've gone places by myself, Mexico 100 times. I went to Spain by myself.
Yeah.
And
I'm not a solo vacationer. I tried it one time, and I couldn't even go full in. It was right after Kid died. I was like, I just want to sit on a beach somewhere and just be alone with my thoughts, which sounds really great in theory.
Yeah.
And then you're at the beach alone.
Yeah,
and so the other women that went on, they went their separate ways. I was like, can we meet for dinner? So we'd at least meet for dinner at night. But I'd be by myself all day. I did not like that. Did not like
Be alone
that.
with your thoughts, start crying, and then people start labeling you as a crazy crying lady.
I didn't like
I'm going
it.
to be far and alone for a minute of my summer trip. I'm flying. I'm booked myself to fly through Madrid to get to Croatia because I've never been to Spain. So I have a day on either end in Madrid by myself.
Is it going to be during soccer season so you could go watch a match? Because that would be awesome.
Truthfully, I just thought, I bet the people in Madrid are really like cool and cool looking. It seems like an artsy place. So
Very
I thought
hipster.
it was cool to fly through there. I don't know what I'm going to do. Is it safe?
I think it's safe.
Safe, but heads up.
Every city has its areas that are not so good and they're awesome party scenes, so you just got to stay out of those.
Okay.
And you'll be all good.
Yeah, not speaking the language.
You speak a little Spanish. Lo hablan así, en
Yeah,
español.
Yeah, that Ibiza thing threw me,
Madrid.
it threw me for a loop.
Ibiza.
And if you do, I in Spain, I got into a Mini Cooper with 4 strangers.
Oh.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
I was kind of jokingly.
You hitchhiked in Spain.
I kind of jokingly hitchhiked. The line
Not
for
today,
this
Al.
club was like enormously long. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock in the morning. The club is closing. It's broad daylight.
Yeah, they don't go out till like 1 a.m. It's crazy.
And so nobody wanted to pick up one dude. So I'm standing at the back of the line with my thumb out like this, knowing, I'm half drunk and knowing nobody's going to stop. And these 2 gay guys and 2 girls, I assume they're girls, stopped and put me in the back seat in the middle between 2 strangers.
Back seat, windows up.
But they actually,
They dropped you off where you needed to go.
They dropped me off at the
Get all
hotel.
your organs.
Yeah, I think so far.
Did you have a crap I messed up moment when you got in the car?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. They spoke
Like, this is a terrible
about
idea.
Yeah.
that much English, but we translated enough to get me home.
Oh,
Wow.
that's cool.
Thank the Lord.
Thank
Yeah,
the Lord.
Safely got
Because
home.
other people have stories that don't end that
Don't
happy.
end, yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
And they're not
worry.
allowed
Don't do
to
that,
tell
yeah.
I
her.
won't.
I did that one time in San Diego when I was like 21, drunk, and asked some random people for a ride. And they thought it'd be funny to just drop me off about 5 miles further up north. And then they laughed about it
Yeah,
as they
it's
drove
pretty
away.
funny.
It sucked. Hey, we got the question of the day from
Okay.
Bailey.
All right.
Who is the worst roommate or house guest you've ever had?
Jake.
What?
Oh.
Jake was a pain in my butt. I don't think I've ever even told the story on the air, but Jake wouldn't clean up. I said, Jake, you can come stay at my house. I have a 1-bedroom apartment. You stay on the couch. Jake wouldn't clean. Jake wouldn't do squat, and I use the word squat intentionally. He wouldn't do squat, but sleep and fart and pee and just mess stuff up.
How'd
Jake.
you get rid of him?
I think I eventually moved, and I just said,
You just had to move.
yeah, he wouldn't leave. So I just had to say, Jake, I'm leaving. But, Jake.
Jake is. What about you, Kelly?
Wendy.
Wendy was your roommate. Oh, yeah, is she the one that told everybody about the key?
Yeah, she was a mess. When I moved to Atlanta, I was just trying to start a new chapter of my life in Atlanta. And I didn't have a roommate. So the apartment complex actually had a list of people, tenants, who were looking for roommates. And she was the same position as me. So I didn't know this girl, moved in with her, and she was really nice, I thought. Had a boyfriend named Lane. And I remember that because I heard it yelled a lot through the walls.
Oh.
Lane! Lane!
Lane.
Whoa, Lane.
Oh, I knew that name very well.
Stay in your lane.
So basically, he lived with us without paying his part of
Yeah.
the rent. So, whatever. So I had that. One night, she locked herself out of the apartment. So rather than calling me, who was at work 5 minutes away, she had Lane shimmy up to the balcony and break in through the window, and then told the apartment complex we were robbed.
Oh, great.
So we wouldn't have to pay for the damn. I don't know what happened with that. Another time, I came home and there was, because I worked restaurants, and she was already asleep, and I went to my bathroom and there was vomit everywhere.
Oh, boy.
In the toilet, in the bathtub. So I made her get up out of her bed and come clean my bathroom. I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I went away one time for the weekend, came home and didn't notice it at the time, but my lampshade was a little off and things had happened. And when not until I was moving later, that I found gum underneath the bed and stuff. So she let people stay in my bed while I was
Gross.
gone without telling me. So
Yeah.
I'm sleeping in other people's funk.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Oh, and the answering machine message. Hey, we're not home right now, but if you want to come over, the key's under the mat. That was our answering machine message
Oh, man.
that I had to have changed. It was a
Yeah.
nightmare.
My worst one was Matt.
And
it was when I lived with him and this other guy named Tim. And that was one of my tips for kids. I said, talk to anybody, because that's how I met Tim, and we became really good friends. And he became my roommate with his high school best friend, Matt. Matt got the master bedroom because he paid $30 extra a month. Matt's parents came down and did grocery shopping for him every weekend.
Wow.
And so it was stocked up, but everything had Matt's name on it. And he would not share with us. And he would then eat in front of us while we're eating our
Oh,
ramen
goodness.
and just
That's cold.
rub it in our face.
That's cold.
And would never clean his dishes to the point where we had to stick him on the bed when he wouldn't be home.
Yeah.
And Matt would be the guy that would get so wasted we would come home with a girl like my girlfriend Kinsey or my parents, and Matt would be passed out drunk on the couch with puke all over himself.
Oh, yuck.
So that was one of those short-lived roommate experiences that I do not wish upon my worst enemy. What about you, Jenna?
Well, I've never had a bad roommate.
Lucky?
Well, I was an only child. I usually had my own room, and the few times I've shared, it's been with a very close friend that I knew I'd get along with. And my random roommate in college was awesome. She was an honors student.
So you've
I was
been
in the
very
honors
lucky.
dorm,
Yeah,
so
you're
everyone
very
was very
lucky.
studious and nice.
What about house guests? Is Justin the worst house guest?
I did have a house guest that had the swine flu. Gave me the swine.
Ooh.
Don't you remember? Is that
Yeah.
what it was? It was swine that we got blood tested
Yeah.
for. She slept in my bed for 6 weeks, and I liked her, but she had a nightmare roommate. So I let her live with me, but her cat Jinx, would come through my fireplace. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, and I have to get up so early. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, and the cat would be massaging my butt cheeks. And there was no way for me to get rid of the cat because I had a fireplace that it could come through the living
Yeah.
room, one of those.
Well, light that fireplace. I'll get rid of
Yeah. Just leave it
But
on.
yeah, so that was kind of the cat. I didn't like the cat being there, rubbing me all the time. But
You've been
no,
pretty
I've
lucky.
been really lucky. Yeah, but live alone.
There you
and
go.
that won't happen.
Right.
There you go, Bailey. We got you. If you want to be the question of the day, make sure you drop it in the comments section. We'll be back tomorrow. We got Flush the Format, Feel Good Friday, and another trip to Florida to give away. You can sign up for that.
And I'm bringing my favorite summer treat.
Oh, we got
Oh, yeah,
treats.
Jenna, that's what I like is coming up tomorrow.
treats.
Yay.
So get ready. Healthy, but also delicious.
Okay, cool.
Guilty
I like
pleasure.
that. I like that a lot. And again, sign up for that trip at KiddNation.com so you could be one of those 3 names we call out.
Yeah,
See you
yeah.
tomorrow, Kid Nation.